Mankind has always wanted to reveal the secrets of what's unknown to them, and to explore places their small bodies allow them to visit. In order to get some peace of mind, technology has provided answers to many of our doubts. However, there are questions that seem to escape us. Will we be the only living beings in the universe? Could there be a conscious being outside of our atmosphere? Trying to give sense to this great doubt, today we'll present you with 5 mysterious places where aliens could be hiding. But before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notified every day for more amazing content. With that being said, let's begin. Number 5. Aliens in the atmosphere. Our planet Earth has the ideal characteristics for life to develop. Soft temperatures, large oceans, and rivers everywhere, which means our world has a perfect hydrological cycle. The water that falls down and evaporates makes life a possibility, not like the other planets in the solar system. But is there an extra feature that allows for life on our planet? However strange it may be, the Earth hasn't become the suffocating Venus or the arid Mars just because of the fact that it has water. We must also thank our perfect cycle of carbon dioxide regulation. What do we mean by all this? That we are lucky the mountains act as a sponge, absorbing greenhouse gases and cooling the planet. On the other hand, we have volcanoes heating the planet with their expulsion of lava and preventing us from entering a new ice age. After hearing this, you're probably wondering what all this has to do with alien life. The answer is quite simple. Just as there is a great diversity of species and each one has adapted to a different ecosystem, extraterrestrial life could also have very diverse weather needs. In fact, astrophysicist Carl Sagan proposed in 1975 that in the upper layers of the atmosphere of any planet, including Earth, different living beings could inhabit. These organisms would feed on sunlight and would be able to move through the atmosphere, controlling the pressure of their bodies. This would rule out the idea of an alien with a huge head and big eyes. But at the same time, this approach draws a new direction when facing the search for alien life. This means that in the atmosphere of Jupiter could live microorganisms with behaviors like we mentioned above. They wouldn't need water to maintain their biological cycle. They would only need to receive some sunlight. This theory is stronger because of discoveries by the SETI project. They managed to identify stars with the necessary ingredients for life: carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen. Therefore, scientists believe different types of creatures could inhabit their atmospheres, especially if they have temperatures similar to those on Earth. So far, only a few stars with these characteristics have been found, but specialists believe there could be at least 10 of them in a radius of 30 light years from Earth. If this theory is indeed confirmed, it will be possible to begin the search for extraterrestrial life in the vicinity of other planets. Number 4. Extraterrestrial beings in the oceans. For many people, it's a given we're not the only living beings in the universe. Although most believe these creatures live at distances greater than 1 billion light years, other people think their expressions of life so superior that our human consciousness is too limited to understand it. The theory you'll hear next isn't one of our own creation, but it's one belonging to a scientist trained at NASA. This man of science says that in the depths of the great oceans live alien beings. He's not talking about those marine creatures with strange taxonomy, nor is he saying that a marine species was implanted by alien life centuries ago. This man states that in the great oceans there are extraterrestrial colonies. Could this be possible? Do you think this is even likely? The man who formulated this theory is named Alex Stern, and he currently works at the Southwest Research Institute in Texas. His starting point is the theory known as the Fermi paradox. It argues that there's a contradiction between the high estimates that affirm the existence of other intelligent civilizations and the absence of evidence of those civilizations. So if we're not the only living beings in the universe, where are the other species? Why haven't we found any signs of their existence? For example, probes, spacecraft, or transmissions. According to Alex Stern, this is because the beings we're looking for really inhabit the depths of the oceans, and in the intense search for life abroad, we've forgotten to search our planet. After all, 70% of the surface is covered with water, and most of it is still unexplored. Therefore, it shouldn't surprise you these beings live in our world. In fact, they would be deep in waters with temperatures below 0 degrees and live in conditions protecting them from several natural disasters. These environmental conditions would disconnect them from any contact with terrestrial beings. They would have bodies similar to the ones of fish or perhaps some marine animal. Stern doesn't rule out that any organism had developed space flights in the past, but they saw long-distance communications as a waste of time. This would make us wonder, how did they get to those places? Will they have a nation cover with a dome? How do you imagine they would live down there? We would like to know your thoughts, so please leave a comment below. Number 3. The Zone of Silence. Have you ever heard about the Zone of Silence? This is a region that links the states of Durango, Chihuahua, and Coahuila in Mexico. In its soil, you can find a great diversity of marine fossils, since in the past it was an oceanic bed. But this isn't what makes the place famous, but the innumerable stories talking about mysterious phenomena. It all started when a missile of the United States military fell somewhere in the desert of Durango. For a while, it was believed that it had been a mistake during a military test. However, the reason behind this projectile impacting the ground is disturbing. The reason seems to have a link with an underground alien base, an extraterrestrial colony inhabiting the place, and since then, this has been a key point in negotiations with the USA. It turns out that by the time of the incident, the US government wasn't aware of the existence of these beings, but allegedly, the alien technology had increased impressively the magnetic force that led the missile to being knocked down. Then, they went to investigate in search of the remains of the projectile, and they found this race. Luckily, their motive on Earth is merely of research, and they have continuously exchanged information and technology with the president. The locals claim the magnetic force is undeniable, since electronic and telecommunications equipment become obsolete in this place. That's to say, if you visit this place, you must be aware you won't be able to use your cell phone. In addition, it's worth mentioning that the Zone of Silence is located in the same latitude as the Triangle of Bermuda and the Egyptian pyramids. Perhaps the phenomena seen in all those places have some relation to the enigmas of this place. But the stories go beyond this. Some have come to claim they've witnessed the presence of aliens and even unexplained mutations in the flora and fauna. As strange as it may seem to you, these anomalies are what have made the Zone of Silence a real tourist attraction. If you're a lover of these legends, you should visit it. Maybe you might end up witnessing an inexplicable event. However, the area as of today is closed to tourists, and you can only see the place in the distance. And for obvious reasons, this closure has been taken by some as irrefutable proof that something strange happens there. There's little evidence of the events, though. The Mexican government has only said the region abounds with magnetite, which could explain the problems compasses sometimes suffer there. And the entrance will be closed to protect the ecosystem. So what do you think of all this? Is this true, or are they hiding something? Number 2, the Eye of the World. Things don't end here. In the silver position, we have a strange island in the middle of South America. This rock formation is almost a perfect circle that moves by itself. The place has been called the Eye Island, and it floats in a pond of clear, cold water. Obviously, it's extremely rare, and in contrast to its surroundings, it seems abnormal. The bottom seems to be solid compared to the swamp around it. So far, no scientific organization or anyone else has tried to explain the eye or unravel its mysteries. However, this doesn't absolve it from all sorts of conspiracy theories, and as the researchers of the paranormal point out, that area deserves much more interest. The tribe that lived in the nearby areas affirmed that a circle within another circle represents God on Earth. And this makes us wonder, did they have contacts with beings from another planet? Could these people call God an extraterrestrial creature that provided them with food and technology? It wouldn't be unreasonable to think so. Thanks to Google Earth, we have a better view of the place, which has never been observed before. The island that has almost 100 meters in diameter has been exposed by an Argentinian producer and movie director while investigating paranormal phenomena, UFO cases, and alien sightings. This man had many doubts. He wanted to know how it was possible that such an island existed. Is it perhaps a result of an unknown natural phenomenon, or will alien technology be implied? Also, how has it lasted so long without losing its shape? And what originated its creation in the first place? Is it possible the spherical island that's almost perfect is connected to UFO activity in the area? Or is there something underneath it that makes the mysterious island move in the wrong direction? Apparently, none of these questions have an immediate answer. The truth is that if we look back to the historical records of Google Earth, we'll find that the eye has been visible in satellite images for more than a decade, and apparently has always moved in a mysterious way, as if it were looking to get the attention of anyone watching from above. Maybe people believe this is one of the many terrestrial bases that beings from other planets own. But what do you think? Number 1, Area 51. Our first place today is the famous Area 51. What can you expect from a place that remained hidden for so many decades? We mean it wasn't until 2013 that it was confirmed that it was indeed an Air Force test and training field. Since the 1950s, multiple secret classification projects have been developed there. Many times, human logic tells us the aircraft operating from that military base are the only explanation for the numerous UFO sightings taking place. But could this be true? Is there something else behind all this secrecy? Many people still believe Area 51 is in fact an alien research center, where the remains of the spacecraft that collided in 1947 near the town of Roswell, New Mexico, were taken. Nobody can cross the security perimeter of the base. If you try it, they can fine you, stop you, or even shoot you. The danger of not representing these warnings is well known, and those who take photographs of the sign often end up face down on the ground, with several soldiers pointing their weapons at them. That's way too much protection for a simple base, don't you think? Hope you enjoyed the video, Top Fivers. If you haven't already, check out our other channel, Americano, to enjoy even more amazing list videos. There'll be a link in the description, so check